After a screening of one of MacDonald's short films, the manager of A Neon Rome, a Toronto rock act renowned for their outrageous and volatile club shows, contacted the young filmmaker. Their meeting would set the initial plans for Roadkill in motion.
Next day I get this call from this guy, Keith Bates. He says, I'm a manager of this band, I want to meet you. I'm producing a film. I want to make a movie, kind of like Prince did with Purple Rain. It's called Prince of the Playground, and here's the treatment. And I want you to direct it.
We had a lot of wild and crazy ideas back then, and somehow this idea of making this big movie came up.
I said, guys, imagine a movie. You go into the theater, and the first thing you see is a big shark going across the screen.
First paragraph is like, Neon Rome is playing on stage, the place is packed, there's this giant shark tank in the middle of the club, and kids are being thrown into the shark tank and being eaten alive, and
everyone starts laughing. It's a funny idea. Except I look over, and my manager is totally serious. He's got like the dollar signs in his eyes, and he goes, we're going to make that movie.
I said, well, Keith, I've made a couple of shorts and stuff, and I don't know, Neon Rome, or maybe if they become super famous or get a Warner's deal, we'll have money, but I think a Shark Tank and a shark might be a little beyond our reach, in terms of expenses.
Reining in the band's initial enthusiasm, Brunton and MacDonald came up with a more reasonable idea for a film, a documentary that would capture a Neon Rome on tour across the province.
The original idea was that it was going to be this film called All the Children Are In. And what we're going to do is go up north and follow this crazy band called a Neon Rome as they toured Ontario and just see what happens.
And Neon Rome were so fantastic. They were kind of like the kings of Queen Street at the time.
Neon Rome was a cult band. They were sort of adored by the people who went to them. They were really sort of out there.
So Neal was really like he was the ultimate frontman, a very wild frontman, sort of E-pop-ish. So there was always some sort of lunacy from either between him or the audience, and things are kind of always getting torn down and wrecked.
It was always unpredictable, and that's what I think people enjoyed about the show.
You'd see posters on the street that says, Jesus does heroin, and Neon Rome, and it's just like, these guys are awesome.
Neal made these really great posters that said, attention heroin addicts, and it was a poster that we put up around town that was essentially, wasn't advertising any gig, it was just kind of advertising the band.
We also thought that if we took this band, this kind of nasty, heroin, crazy art band from Queen Street, and have them play at a hotel in Kapuskasing, probably violence would erupt. This is like the perfect summer of this band. They had just had an album come out. Their shows were growing, their kind of confidence was growing. So we began to plan and budget the movie.
Bruce phoned me up and says, we might be able to actually make a bit of a story with this.
Valerie Bahajar, we thought we would steal a kind of a thing from Rude Boy, which is a Clash movie where it was kind of centered around the roadie that was kind of following the Clash around. And that will be our sort of safety net. So we put this little kit together. My friend Chris Buck, who is now a famous New York photographer, took the shots and explained, these are the characters in the band. There's Neal, the lead singer, and John Bora, who's our bass player, Crocky, the guitar player, Dogface, and Tootsie, who is this street person that just would shake rattles and stuff.
After struggling for more than 2 years to attain funding for Highway 61, Brunton and MacDonald's luck changed, and they received $70,000 in grants for their documentary. But they soon discovered that the band was just as unpredictable in real life as they were on stage.
We phoned Neal. You hear the phone get picked up, and all we hear is a little tapping, right? And it's like, okay, Neal, you there? Just more tapping. It's like, okay, that's weird.
We meet for breakfast, and he shows up, and he's wearing a toque. It's kind of, and he doesn't have any hair. I said, is everything okay? And he takes my pen and he writes, and he pushes it back to me, and I look at it and it says, I've taken a vow of silence. And I'm like, all right.
He would sing, but he would never talk. And if you got him on the phone, you had to ask him any questions, but it had to be a question that he could basically answer yes or no to, meaning like, for yes or for no kind of thing.
Events took a turn for the worse for a Neon Rome, when Arbic's spiritual awakening eventually outweighed his desire to be in the band.
When I was in Neon Rome, I had everything I wanted. You know, I had a guy making a movie, I had a record contract, I had the fans and everything. It was everything I had wanted. And inside, I was still a miserable person. I had to change to be happy. So it was easy to walk away from it all.
Suddenly I realized I had $70,000, but no band. It was disintegrating before my eyes.